fucking way to simply download my VODs. Oh, okay. Never mind on letting that motherfucker just exist in the wild. I tried having the starting starting soon screen up, and my entire laptop was like, hey,
Don't do that.
hey, you, sir, need to chill the fuck out, okay? You know we're running on limited equipment here, okay? It's like, I just want to do all the cool things, though, Dad.
Well, it's too damn bad.
I'm tired, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad. All right. I got the Weeb Shit Monday intro all fucking pulled up so we can start this all professional-alike. Well, professional-ish. About as professional as two idiots on the internet can do, I guess.
It's time for Weeb Shit Monday.
Oh, God.
Anime.
Scared the shit out. I was like, wait, when did we have a female join this conversation? Then I remembered. That's the intro. All right. Well, I figure no time like the motherfucking present, huh? All right, gonna ask you everything like I usually do. You got your drinks?
Yeah.
You got your smoke?
Yep.
You got your balls?
No, I let those out a while ago.
Well, doesn't matter because you won't need them. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Weeb Shit Monday. Ta-da!
It's time for Weeb Shit Monday, home to anime, manga, and spicy hot takes with your host, the Podcast Daddy.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Weeb Shit Monday, and today I am joined by my heterosexual life partner, Deadman from VTNetwork. How are you doing there, Bubba?
I'm doing all right. A little hungover, but we manage.
Oh, so you can't be hungover on your show, but you can be hungover on mine.
In fairness, I forgot we were doing this today.
Okay, all right. You know what? Yeah, honestly, if I didn't have to work a 10-hour shift today, I probably would have been drinking too. Not even going to try and play that off. So for everybody who's looking at the screen right now and wondering, what the fuck is this orange sun that I'm staring at? This is Don Clay from one of my favorite series to ever exist. Bo 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 bo. I think I added a lot more, but it deserves that many bows. And you might be wondering why him. Well, today, yeah, there's a lot of bobo bows that you got to throw in, and you kind of feel like that scene from Tenacious D when they're doing the beginning song, him and Kyle Gass, or if you think you like to fucking rock and fuck it, like when he does the bop 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 bop, you're like, oh shit, I think I did way too many. It's the same concept.
Classico.
Yeah, Classico. God, I could not think of the name of that fucking thing to save my life. But today we're talking about joke characters in anime and manga and why they are so important. Now, the reason I say this is because me and Deadman have this conversation a lot of characters that one of us can't stand, but the other one absolutely fucking loves. My side of the spectrum, Bobobo. Love the character. I think it is fucking hilarious. It is the definition of a joke character that knows he's a joke. Like, the joke is present in the entire thing. But on the other side of the spectrum, I'm not the world's biggest fan of One Punch Man. Why? The joke just doesn't land for me, I guess. Like, I understand it doesn't. Like, and that's the thing. I'm not one of those people that's like, well, I just don't understand why it's just one punch. I get it's a joke. Totally understand it. Totally get the ha-ha, funny, laugh. I just don't think when it comes to joke characters, that's the right way to handle it.
And I, on the opposite hand, think it's perfect.
Okay, well, give me your reasonings then. Give me a reason as to why you think One Punch Man is the perfect way to handle a joke character.
Well, okay, so when we talk about gag characters or joke characters, we have to go all the way the fuck back to the very beginning. We have to go back to 1930s cartoons. We have to look at like Popeye, and that is the idea that you can put these motherfuckers through anything. You can hit them with whatever you want. You can smash them, bash them, stretch them. You can blow them up, whatever. They walk away from it, not because they're super powerful, like in the case of like Popeye, but because that's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be this gag. You know what I mean? You're never supposed to defeat them because they can't be defeated on a cartoonish level. They're supposed to be the hero, therefore they're inert to whatever damage you can take. And the reason One Punch Man channels very much that old school 30s vibe is because he doesn't take it seriously either. Just like Popeye. Like Popeye never took his whole thing seriously. Like
Okay.
the character himself, like he was never like like, oh, I'm the strongest, I'm the bestest. No, it was you know, come
Yeah,
on.
skibbity bibbity. Yibbity
Yeah,
flibbity 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 flibbity.
got some spinach. Yeah. So he like One Punch Man, like Saitama, never takes it seriously. Like Saitama's constantly just doing dumb shit, like chasing a mosquito
Oh,
or trying to beat another character in a video game. And in that, he's so fucking he's so inept. You know what I mean? Like he has a breakdown on one of the episodes because he missed a sale at the supermarket.
oh, that's
But
right. Yeah, because the entire time, isn't it when he's fighting? Oh, what's the robot guy's name?
oh, Genos.
Yeah, when he's trying to fight Genos, and then as soon as the fight's done, he's like, "Oh shit, the sale's almost done," and then just
Yeah,
beelines
yeah.
it straight for the store.
Yeah, that's when they go find the secret scientist that all these other heroes were like defeated by, and like the animal classifications and everything. And then just here comes Saitama. And it's a joke. Like it's not that he's being a hero, it's just that he's doing this for Genos. And in the process he's oh god, I missed the sale. Whoa, god, no. And he's like, no, we hurry now, we can make it, let's fucking go. And he blows a hole in the fortress and runs off. And that's why. It's because unlike other characters that do fit this category, like Dio
Jojo.
from JoJo, Dio is this super serious evil mastermind character and whatever. But it's never it's a gag character because he can never fucking die. And even like 300 years later, he's haunting like the great grandson of the original Jotaro. But he's annoying.
I,
It's like,
I,
dude, you deserve to die. You deserve everything bad that happens to you. But he's on this quest for ultimate power and on this immortality and whatever, and that's why he doesn't fit.
yeah, but see, I feel as though JoJo, it has no idea what it's trying to do to begin with. So I think Dio fitting in like this grand scheme evil character kind of fits because nothing else in this fucking world makes sense. So why should one of the characters? Because I've watched, I've watched the first season and I had no fucking idea what was going on that entire thing. Like I was like, okay, so hold on, hold on. It's a breathing technique. Oh wait, no, now we're in the castle. Wait, I'm still. My brother in Christ, what the fuck is this pacing? So I feel as though Dio as a
Yeah.
main bad guy really doesn't stray away from anything fucking wacky that show or that series tries to do to begin with.
Well, that's just it, right? So you end up with this really annoying character, Dio, and he's always annoying, and he's always going to be fucking annoying. There is no redeeming qualities about him. There's nothing that endears you to the character, not even a little bit. There's nothing even a little bit endearing or
Not even as
wins
a
you
good
over at
villain.
the end. No, he's a
Like,
terrible villain.
yeah, he's like not even a villain that
Like,
you're like, ooh, I want to see him get his ass kicked. It's not an ass kick because he's like did something evil, but it's an ass kick because he's so fucking annoying.
but
Uh-huh.
meanwhile, you got Saitama, on the other hand, who gets hit with asteroids, bounced off of buildings, he's buried up to his neck. He enjoys it. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay here for a minute. Kind of feel like a bamboo shoot.
I
Makes you
oh,
kind of calm.
is that the beginning? Like when he fights all four of those the
Yeah.
top elite monsters.
Yeah. And and so you also have this also like serious moment where you do with Saitama the same way you do with Popeye. It gets me spinach, and then he proceeds to whoop ass.
Yeah, it's
And
not
then
even
the
it's
same
not even a
thing with
whoop ass. It's
Saitama.
just like a simple boom.
Yeah,
Oh
and
God,
with
that was our
Saitama-
top fighter.
Yeah, and with Saitama, it's the same thing. He turns serious for a split second, destroys something, and he's like, "Ah, fuck, right, one punch."
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's kind of my name. Shit. I
So,
guess my point with the whole One Punch Man thing is like there's times where it tries to take itself way too seriously. And that's something that I cannot as a person who enjoys comedic sort of like comedic comics or entertainment, I can't get into it when it takes itself way too seriously. Like you can't give me this plot of somebody that can deal like level entire fucking countries with a simple fart, and then try and throw me a serious subplot of, oh, there's an evil villain organization that could kill anything. And it's like, I know where this is fucking going, bro. I know by the end of the season, it's going to be Saitama versus Big Monster. Saitama, one punch, boom, gone. It takes itself too seriously for my liking, and I cannot get behind that.
But that's also the joke. Like just like in Popeye, Bluto goes around bullying everybody. Nobody beats Bluto. In fact, in the boxing episode, like one of the first ones of Popeye, Bluto beats out like 20, 30 dudes in literally just a flurry of punches and just violence. And then in comes Popeye. And Popeye socks him out. And that's the joke, is that to the rest of this world, would take Saitama out, this is a world-ending event. But then that's the joke. You put Saitama in it, and the viewer knows that, oh, we know that Saitama's gonna, knock out everybody or take care of the issue, but we just don't know what the gag is gonna be. And that's kind of what the fun is. Like the karate tournament itself. Like he's over here trying to keep the fucking wig on. And that's the gag. He's getting kicked left and right. The stadium gets upended. There's this dude going ham. He's going as hard as can be, and there's Saitama just trying to keep his wig on. And that's the gag. The gag in Saitama is the idea that he's not taking it seriously. We don't take it seriously, but everyone around him does. And it's the same thing with Bobo 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 Bobo. Everything in this world is taken very, very seriously, except for the gag. The gag is always there.
I don't know. I guess I'm looking at it with two different levels of comedy. I'm looking at it like I'm not looking at it as like a comedy show. I'm more of looking at it. I'm looking at these two separate things two different ways, I guess, because I'm seeing Saitama or One Punch Man as an actual like anime manga, something that I need to take seriously to an extent, but I'm looking at Bobobo as like a normal Saturday morning cartoon that is just full of the stupidest gags I've ever seen that will make me piss myself laughing.
And that's why you need to bring One Punch Man down to that Saturday morning cartoon level, because that's what Saitama is. He is the gag. Like he's the gag. It's literally Saturday morning cartoons. Like even to a certain point, All Might is a gag character.
Texas Punch? Is that what it's called? No, Texas Smash. Sorry.
Smash.
Texas Smash. I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? The All American Smash. You know what I mean? United States of Smash, and that's the gag.
Oh, when I seen that, I laughed because I'm like, oh my god, they really went for like yeehaw cowboy American with that.
Yeah, but that's the gag, right? And never once do you look at All Might and go like, "This is stupid." No, you're like, "Yeah, fuck him up,"
America, fuck yeah.
because you're looking at All Might as the Saturday morning hero. He is the Saturday morning cartoon. He is the always smiling, always does the best. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's the same thing with and it's what Saitama is supposed to be, except the gag is on the surface rather than with My Hero. It's kind of subterfuged. It's kind of under the surface. It's kind of hinted at. It's tongue in cheek almost.
Right. It's like these are the heroes that you would watch. Like if you would see Spider-Man or Flash on TV. Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess another one of my qualms with One Punch Man is I've watched the anime, and of course, you know me, I watch the anime, so I got to read the manga. The manga got boring to me, and I think that took the fun out of it. I think that was one of my huge problems, is because I got to, God, I can't really speak on much because season 3 isn't even close to being out. It got to a certain point where all they did was show the other heroes, and then Saitama was not even fucking relatively close. And it was just all the heroes fighting, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of these people. There's nothing about any of them that even makes me want to keep reading. And that's the only context I can give without giving shit away.
And a gag character is supposed to make you appreciate the world around them, right? That's in the end what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to appreciate the idea that Olive Oil is a damsel in distress, and that what's his name, Bluto's a bully, and the other guy, I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Is
He's
that what
kind
he's
of a
from?
loser. Yeah, that's
No
from
shit,
Popeye.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so all these characters were supposed to appreciate the world around them. And it's the same thing with All Might. You have to look at the same way. Nobody loves All Might more than the other heroes. Even Endeavor. Even Endeavor looks up to All Might. And it's the same thing with Saitama. The rest of the world looks at Saitama like he's a loser, like he's a stolen valor asshole. But the only people that know like who he is the other heroes, like Genos, like King, like Tiger. You know what I mean?
Oh, fucking King.
Yeah.
Fucking King.
So,
See, if you would if you look at me, if you would tell me a joke character and you would bring up King, I would believe that more than One Punch Man any day.
no, and I understand it. I understand when they shine the light on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But that's
because
also hanging the lantern on this thing. You know?
right, it's not a you know it as soon as it happens. It's more like we're giving you a character, but you just feel like something's off, and then you figure out what it is, and you're like, ah, gotcha. So this nifty little
Yeah.
preamble is building up to an actual point here. What are the importance of side characters and an actual like non? What are? I don't want to word this. What importance do comedic characters hold into actual serious manga and anime? Like, how important are they?
Very important.
Okay, cool.
Very,
I thought
very,
I thought
very
we were gonna
important.
disagree, and I was like, oh, please don't make me do this.
No. They're very important for a multitude of reasons. And the first one being power scaling. When you have a gag character like Saitama, and you look at all the heroes that look up to him, all the other, even the villains, even the monsters and stuff like that, they're all very well aware of what and who Saitama is. So they don't concentrate on Saitama. They're like, we're just never gonna go to that neighborhood. You know what I mean?
This is a
We'll fuck
bad
with the
neighborhood.
hero killer. Yeah, we'll fuck with the hero killer. We'll fuck with King. We'll fuck with almost everybody else, but Saitama, that
Eh.
guy, we're gonna swerve left on that one. And it's the same thing with Bobo. It's the same thing with Dragon Ball Z. Also, Mr. Popo. Mr. Popo's stronger than everybody there.
But nobody realizes it.
Yeah.
Or
Mr.
another
Popo can level
fucking
and
countries.
he can level spaces. You know what I mean? But we don't ever see it because he doesn't have to. He's there for power scaling. We have to realize and it's a subtle art of power scaling. If if the Saiyans, you know what I mean, or not, is it the Saiyans? Super
Yes.
Saiyan, yeah.
Yes.
When the Saiyans are following his directions, how strong is this guy? You know what I mean?
Right. And that's always one thing
Like,
that I love is that they always bring up like, oh, Mr. Popo is the peacekeeper. And he's like, want some pot? Whenever I think of Popo, I just think of Team 4-Star every time. I
oh yeah.
forget that he's not that funny in the actual show. I always forget that.
It's just a gallon of LSD. I don't know where he got it.
All the squares make a
all
circle.
these all these squares make a circle. Mr. Kame, I need you to tell me I can leave the lookout whenever I want.
Mr. Popo, you can leave the lookout whenever you want.
Don't tell me what to do, bitch.
And this is the second time that TFS has been referenced on a show with me and you.
Uh-huh. But yeah, the funny part is that that's the truth of it. Is that Mr. Popo is a gag character. But we have how important Mr. Popo is because the Saiyans bow to him, Kami bows to him, even Super Kami bows to him. And he is a gag character. And it's the same thing with Bo. It's the same thing with the Ricky Lee or Rocky Lee, I forgot the fucking name is. Um
From Naruto?
you know no. Baki,
Oh,
Baki the
Baki.
grappler.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. See, I haven't got that far, and my knowledge of Baki is not that wide.
Yeah. But it's the same thing with Baki, you know what I mean? Like these are all gag characters that are uber powerful that everybody else has to power scale or either swerve around. You know what I mean?
Right.
So these characters are insanely important.
Especially when Baki's just like a normal dude. Like, doesn't have any special powers or doesn't, have any special abilities that he can rely on. It's just straight up kung fu. Like,
And a shit ton of training.
fuck. A metric fuck ton, if you will, of training. Well, another gag character that we bring up that has no really power scaling, but we still see him as a joke, is Mr. Hercule or Mr. Satan, whichever one you want to fucking call him. Hercule or Mr. Satan. Like, there was
Mr. Satan.
let's not muddy the waters here.
Let's not muddy the waters. He was named that because he's a gag character.
That's also true. So but there's times where I feel like the comic relief character does more bad than it does to good in series, and a perfect example of that is Puck in Berserk.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't read Berserk, Puck is a little fairy that follows Guts around, and in a better sense of the word, it's his conscience. That's all it is. Puck is supposed to serve as Guts' conscience, and he's there sometimes for comic relief, and it's like, this is such a serious story that when you throw comic relief into it, it's like, it's kind of like telling a dead baby joke at a funeral. Like, you already got enough going on.
Baby.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you've already got enough going on. Let's not try and add gasoline to the fire that's already 10 feet high.
And Puck is an example of a badly used character, and he stands in the same class and same vein as Mr. Satan from DBZ. These are badly utilized characters. And the idea that but even
I disagree
then,
with that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
well, that's what I was getting to. Even then, they serve the purpose of power scaling to show you how important the other characters are, because in their own little
Puck, not so
microcosm,
much. Not with Puck,
Mr.
man.
Satan is the shit. Well, I'm getting to Puck. in their own microcosm, like Mr. Satan is the shit, right? Like
Okay.
everybody knows him, looks up to him, whatever. But it's the same thing with Puck. Puck is supposed to make you appreciate the stoic nature of the story, the stoic nature of Guts and what's happening. However, just like Mr. Satan, sometimes you just don't fucking need it. You, like what are you here for? Like with the Cell Saga and the Perfect Cell Saga, you didn't need Mr. Satan there for a minute. Not one fucking minute except to introduce what was happening, and he could have fucked off for the rest of the saga. We would have never missed him.
But then we get to the Boo saga, and then we see that Mr. Satan is actually like important in that saga. Whereas Puck, we get him throughout the entire series, and then we get another little annoying fuck. I don't remember his name. Like this little kid that, you know, decides to join Guts in the party, and you're just like, why? We don't need you to. You are comic relief that is not needed in this kind of story. Whereas Mr. Satan in the Boo saga did a hell of a lot more than either of those two other characters combined. He showed normal Boo, good from bad, kind of, again, spoiler territory, so I can't do this. Basically, Mr. Satan showed Boo what it meant to be like to be good. So he was important later on in the saga. But Puck and the little kid in Berserk serve no purpose but to kind of be like, aha, you just seen a horse ram an innocent woman. We're making a joke here. Like, you get my point?
And again, yeah, no, and Berserk is such a difficult thing to use as an example of almost anything, because Berserk. Let's just face it. Berserk is not the pinnacle of storytelling. It is not, and it is
I will
not
fucking
pinnacle.
fight you. I will.
It's
fuck
not.
What do you mean it's not? What?
It is not.
What? Bitch. Mm.
This is why we have these discussions.
The goal that albeit with how much that story has been beaten to the fucking dirt, the Golden Age arc is probably one of my, if not top 5, top 10 arcs in any manga that I have read in my 27 years of living.
Doesn't even register in my top 50.
Okay, all right, Mr. High and Mighty. Then what would you consider the pinnacle of storytelling if we're gonna go that way?
I mean, if you like really want to fucking how in depth do you want to go here? Do you want to go like philosophical or just all around storytelling?
Just all around storytelling. That's all we're going with is storytelling.
Trigun.
Ah, shit. I got nothing on that one because I've never watched or read Trigun.
And even this anime I just finished watching yesterday that I really got, that took a serious turn. I talked about it on the show. I'm quitting heroing.
Yes, I have that on my
took
list.
That seriously took a turn. It took a really harsh turn, and it took a left turn, and all of a sudden a lot of things make sense in the beginning of the anime, and like the last 4 episodes, you're just like sad.
Oh.
You're just sad.
Oh,
like it's just
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna read it, but now I'm really debating on reading it or not because I don't want to be depressed.
I would suggest watching it. I looked up the manga because I was like, "There's more." Yes, there's more. Okay, but I would suggest watching it. Like,
Okay.
it's that good. But like storytelling in and of itself doesn't. You can tell some of the best stories in anime have been told in one season. Cowboy Bebop. Trigun,
Okay, valid. Another
Ghost in
valid
the
one.
Shell.
I've watched Ghost in the Shell. That's one we got to do. That was what I was actually, before this, I was gonna bring up. We do Ghost in the Shell, but I'm like, I don't got time to watch that before the next Monday.
Perfect Blue.
Oh, okay. Perfect
Blue is another one.
Yep, Perfect Blue is another one. That's a good example of storytelling.
And none of these fucking stories have extended plus 15 so years. I mean, Ghost in the Shell has, but none of that's canon because they just took the name and ran with it because he licensed it. But you look at Cowboy Bebop, You look at Trigun, especially the first run, not this new one, but the first run. I was that was a blueprint for so many characters that we have now, and it was a blueprint for so many animes that we have now. So many people look at it because it is such an incredible feat of storytelling. I mean, let's go to a more recent one. Vinland Saga season 1 was one hell of a ride, and that
Yeah, I don't know where I'm at in like correlation to manga to anime, but whoo, it was a fucking ride. It's been a goddamn ride.
yeah, and you don't you didn't need 3 years to tell a single story, unlike the fucking Golden Arc. And when you talk about Berserk, you're gonna have the people that are hardcore Berserk fans like you and Mustard from VTNetwork, and then you're gonna have people like me and DJ who have been around, who have read this shit, who have watched it develop, who have heard all the fucking, you know what I mean, all the theories and everything. And I'll tell you, just like I told Mustard a little while ago, it's not that I have a controversial take. It's just that I have the opportunity of age. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
That's true because you're looking at, you're looking on the bright side of 40 where I'm 27 just starting all of these manga and anime, so this is all a brand new world to me. This is
Yeah.
still a bright new world, but I see I think Berserk it really has an underlying story of like you're going to go through some shit, you either continue on or you kill yourself. Like he says in the
Students.
like he says in the Black Swordsman arc when that little girl watches her dad die and he's like, "Okay, you can sit there and cry or kill yourself." And if you think I'm paraphrasing, I really am not.
I mean, Sayuki, a Tale to the West, had a much better version of that, and that's another one that told it in a single series with Sayuki. That one was a hell of a story, and that one you can read. I do suggest reading it because they toned it down so much for the anime that it kind of lost a lot of its flavor.
How the sweet
Um,
California fuck do you spell that?
just type in "Tale to the West"
Tails.
and you'll
Okay,
see it.
yeah, I was about to say I'm not gonna try and spell that motherfucker.
Let me see. Let me see if I
Or
remember how to do it.
another great example of a joke character is Kinnikuman, or in America, if you've never heard of it, Ultimate Muscle. Ultimate Muscle
Yeah.
was Saturday morning cartoon shit. It was wrestlers combined with anime. I mean, Jesus Christ, the cow and chicken song for the longest time was my ringtone for my phone. But that was a show that knew how to handle the gag perfectly, but it didn't rely on everything being one punch. It relied on all of the goofy ass characters it had, like Ramen Man, Texas Man, Terry Roundhouse.
Terry Roundhouse. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it relied. I'm saying all of the points that you said with One Punch Man, and I am now seeing the correlation.
Now you get it. Yeah.
Yep. Now that I say all these things out loud, I'm like, oh, so this is what he means.
Yeah, and like I said, you're not wrong in your opinion. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna say you're wrong because this is your opinion. You have every right to fucking have it. It's just that I'm here to, like I said, I just have the benefit of age. That's all I
Right.
have. I have that benefit. I have that ability to be older and have lived through more of these arcs. And I got into manga I got into Japanese and Asian culture when I was a kid because I had a crush on a girl in elementary school,
Oh
and
God.
she happened to be Asian. So I had this huge crush on her. So I got introduced to Asian culture through her,
Oh
and
God, Deadman.
I what it's the truth, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with this the way they told stories. You know what I mean? The way they Akira Kurosawa. You know what I mean? All these old filmmakers from Japan and China. the mountains west, the White Witch and stuff like that. So all I have is the benefit of age. So when we argue stuff, I don't tell you, well, you're fucking wrong. I don't tell you, like, well, this or that. I say when I talk about stuff like Berserk, you know what I mean? Because I've been around for Berserk, been around for a long time for Berserk, and there was a long fucking time where people like DJ and I were like couldn't wait for the next chapter. We can't wait for the next arc. We can't wait for the. All right, god damn it, you're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself. Oh, let me guess, this is gonna happen. You're repeating. You know what I mean? Like, it's just after a certain while, after a minute, when you open up the aperture and zoom out just a little bit, Berserk is not a great storytelling anime
Well,
or a manga.
I guess. Well, let's not talk about the anime. Let's not talk about South Park the anime. Let's
Yeah.
skip past that. But what I mean is, one of the key points of the Golden Age arc was that it was building you this big story of how the Band of Hawks came to be, or how they, were more forceful now that Guts had joined, leading all the way up to the Eclipse. And the Eclipse was the magnum opus of that entire arc. So in my eyes, that was great storytelling, because once you've seen Griffith betray all of the Hawks, you're just like, ooh, you cocksucking son of a fuck. Like, it made sense. All of that building made sense as to why they did that, because you also see why Guts is now trying to find Casca in the next couple arcs that have happened. You find out why Guts has this undying hatred for Griffith, and as soon as he sees him in the Black Swordsman arc, he yells, "Griffith!" and wants to kill him. It's a great arc, in my opinion, because it shows you the bond that they built before they all got fucking betrayed and eaten by demons and a little bit of sexual assault. But,
Yeah, but you're also missing the point where you literally pointed out 2-3 arcs searching for Griffith. So like it, when you're waiting for this shit to come out, so you have the opportunity of just downloading it, reading it. When you're waiting for the shit to come out on a weekly or a monthly basis back then, it is very much a shit or get off the pot situation. And waiting and waiting and waiting, and oh look, another arc. Oh look, now there's a princess involved. Oh look, now there's a sword that wasn't the sword that was the sword that isn't the sword that is the sword that was that guy's sword, but now is this guy's sword. What's the point? Who gives a fuck? We're here to get revenge on Griffith. No, hold on. We got to tell you about this kingdom now. This whole kingdom that exists because who cares? Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Get on with the fucking story. And you know exactly the 2 arcs I'm talking about.
yep. Yep.
Now
I kind of
imagine
block those
what
out of my brain.
exactly. Now try waiting a month for those. 0 payout on Griffith.
Okay, my
Yeah.
brother in Christ, you are talking to a One Piece fan who is still waiting to see Luffy become the king of the pirates. So, like, I'm all for the long run. I'm all for the long run.
Yeah, and there's a reason dudes my age gave up on One Piece, man. There's a
I
reason.
believe it. I honestly, when people say other mangas that are only like 200 something chapters and they're at the very end of it and they're like, I give up, I'm like, okay, you're kind of a pussy. Like, you couldn't wait like, I don't know, 2 more years for them to get through the story. Okay, you're kind of a pussy. But One Piece, I'm like, yeah, you gave up. I would just wait until all the shit's over. I would wait until the One Piece is found and King of the Pirates happens, and then I would just blast through it all. Because if you're an anime right now, if you're a One Piece fan and you're waiting for the anime, I feel so fucking bad for you. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I'm in that boat. I gave up a long time ago because I was a big fan of it. And of course, my grievances. My grievances with One Punch.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
You mean One Piece?
I'm sorry, One Piece. With One Piece, and I still believe they're valid. I mean, even DJ, as much as he fucking hates to admit it, says they're valid. But
Oh, he's admitted it. He's admitted it when we've argued about this on VTN. He's wholeheartedly admitted that.
yeah, that my grievances are valid. But going back to gag characters, you know what I mean? Like we can look at even Luffy as a gag character.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
I mean, even with, I'm gonna ruin this for a lot of people. And if you, like I said, I'm a manga reader, so I'm already way the fuck past all of this that y'all are waiting for. When he gets Gear 5, motherfucker has Toon Force. If you say he does not have Toon Force, you are so full of shit, and you're just trying to lie to yourself. Like, oh no, it's because it's his imagination. That's Toon Force. Like they even
That's
mention
literally
it.
being a cartoon character.
Yeah, they even mention it in the anime. Is like, we have no idea how he's doing any of this. Like we have no fucking clue. He is not with the devil fruit he has. Yeah, he's not supposed to be able to do any of this. We don't know how it's working. Like not a single clue. So we come back to gag characters are very fucking needed in shows, because even a serious fight that is happening right now in the anime, which is Kaido versus Luffy, that's a serious fight. That's a fight for a liberation of a country. And you're kind of just throwing the biggest Gear 5 gag into it. Like his eyes do the multiple things where they start out small and they get bigger. They do the running thing where his legs are in circles. He takes off his eyebrow and turns it into a hat. I don't know what more I have to say being a gag character.
Yeah.
But even in the beginning, Luffy is a gag character because he's the joyful, like making jokes, or the dumbass. He's the dumbass of the crew.
And like I said, the point of a gag character is to make you appreciate the world around them.
And
tell me I'm wrong.
No. And especially with a character like Luffy, he will make you appreciate the world, just mostly the food, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like Zoro, you know what I mean, and all the other, you know, folks
Crewmates.
on the thank you, all the other crewmates. You get this sense of who they are through Luffy, you know, and you never run away from that fact, and neither do they. You know, they very much hammer home that this is exactly who and what this is, you know. And so the importance of the gag character, it's still there, and it's still so important, because you can almost name most animes, and those most animes have a gag character
At
of
least
one form or another.
At least I have a grievance with a gag character, and you know exactly where I'm going. It's been fucking recent.
Go ahead.
Is it Zenitsu?
Zenitsu.
I was pretty close. Okay. Zenitsu. I dislike him as a gag character. It pisses me off. For some reason, I don't like pervert characters. Pervert characters, in my opinion, are lazy, and they just kind of like give off the I diddle people against their will sort of feel. And I even say the same thing about Sanji as well. Again.
Sanji, yeah.
Yeah, again, One Piece fan, don't like how they write Sanji. But I don't like the whole, a female, nosebleed situation. It's dumb. And then the way they write Zenitsu, who's a total pussy when he's awake. And again, Deadman's going to hit me with, well, that's the joke. I get that's the joke. I see the joke a mile away. But I just don't understand why. Like, I just can't figure his character out. And mind you, I have read the manga. I've finished Demon Slayer all the way. I still don't understand it. I do not understand him as a character and why he is part of the trio. I mean, I guess because you have Tanjiro, who's, this, I can defeat anything, or not really I can defeat anything, but he's like, I'm going to fight for goodwill. And then you have Inosuke, who's just, you got the beef. Inosuke, you got the beef, I got the smoke. When we making this happen? And Zenitsu.
Zenitsu is man, like how do I put this? Like I guess in the end I'm just gonna have to explain the gag. The gag is that the guy overcompensates in every aspect of his life because he sees himself as worthless. He sees himself as a coward. He sees himself as undesired. So he overcompensates in every other aspect. And that includes chasing girls. That includes the cowardice. That includes the friendship. That includes everything else.
I can tell you
That's
like him
why
because
the
you're
only
laughing while you're explaining this.
because I know the trope. I know the trope. You have other characters that have done this before. There's even a couple in Bleach. You know what I mean? Uh, the joke is the gag is that he's undesirable in every aspect of his life except for one. So in every other aspect of his life, he overcompensates to become something he's not.
Just I told you from the beginning, I don't like him. And God, I hate that I read because I can't give anything away. Because I have points, but like I can't bring them up. I hate how they write them. That's all I'm gonna say, without going into super duper detail. I
Well, I
do
mean,
not.
we can take a look at past events. We can take a look at the room,
Okay,
the bongo demon, you know, and the
right.
bongo demon, how he was literally calling out Zenitsu, telling him that he is worthless, that he is the weakest of the core, and that he doesn't know how he would ever make Hashira, being that he is such a coward.
And he almost pissed
And
himself, and then just
then he passes out, and then becomes this badass ultra lightning fucking character. But the thing is that the demon himself, he wasn't lying. That is who Zenitsu is. Zenitsu is a coward. He is fearful. He overcompensates. He talks big. He he's an asshole.
he doesn't even talk big though. That's the problem. Is like he doesn't overcompensate in that. He's like, I'm a pussy. I can't do this. I'm scared. I didn't even want to be in the demon hunter trials. I only wanted to because old man made me, and now I passed out halfway through, and I don't know how I survived. Just kill me, please. It's like, I can get behind a pussy. I can get behind a pussy character. I cannot get behind a scaredy cat character, like a scaredy pussy cat character. And then the only time that he gets anything that's worth redeemable in the entire series is when he's passed the fuck out.
Yeah, it's kind of I like it.
Again, it's different. It's differing opinions on that one. That's definitely like I will argue that because that one is I just can't get behind that. I've tried.
Different senses of humor. You know what I mean? Like you know me, I have a very dark sense of humor, but when something's goofy or silly enough, I'm gonna laugh at it. Like the idea that Anosuke was on the fucking ceiling
That
waiting for Tanjiro to wake up for not hours but 2 straight days.
oh good, I'm hallucinating that Inosuke is just chilling on the roof. No, it's me.
No, it's me. Get up.
And see that I like that is my type of joke character where it's like I'm ready for the smoke at all times, no matter what. Or was it the it was either the entertainment district arc or the not the swordsman. It was an arc that is past, but it's when he went to go crawl through all the holes and like just dislocated every bone in his body.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
she's like, how'd you get through all those holes? I could do this.
And yeah, he's a gag character, and it's fucking. He's just as funny. Like it's a different gag. You know what I mean? And Zenatsu is also a gag character, but even Tanjiro to a certain extent is a gag character. He's one of these we're gonna win it through the power of friendship type bitches, you know?
Yeah, and as much as I'd like to disagree, no, that's kind of if you've never watched Demon Slayer, that's kind of it kind of boils down to that. It boils down to one simple word that me and Deadman like to use quite often. Family.
Family.
Family. That's that's what it revolves around. That's what Demon Slayer is, because I mean the entire premise is I'm gonna turn my sister back into a human.
But yeah, no, gag characters, man. I do love their importance. I do love them so much, and I do hold so many of them dear. Um, I know, and I know Bobo is literally filled to the brim with them. So you can't you throw a dart, you get one. And it's the same
Just like
thing,
Don Clay, like the person we have on the screen right now. Don Clay is a gag character.
very much so.
I mean, there's an entire scene where him and Don Clay have a competition of who has the saddest backstory. And it's supposed to be this big combative scene where they're like, I remember one Christmas my family didn't even invite me. They just left me out in the cold while they drank hot chocolate and waited for Santa, and I sat in the freezing cold. And the guy again is like, oh God, that's so fucking sad.
And they're literally acknowledging it like the entire fucking time. It's so fucking funny, dude.
That's
And like they're acknowledging like it's a fight, and they're each taking like hits from each other, like, and they're like showing damage as they take it, you know? Like it's so good. It's so good. And
that's how
it's
you
just
do a gag, in my opinion. Bo is the definition of how jokes. I like my jokes. Is just very
I'm
tongue in cheek stupid.
it is
Trying to figure out a
I
nice way to
mean
put this,
it's
ain't you?
yeah. I mean, like the whole fucking thing is just stupid. And it is so difficult for me to uh it's so difficult for me to even nail down anything in Bobo because even the fucking name in and of itself is a gag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they even call it out. I think it's in the first like 3 episodes. Like what kind of a name is that? It's the name of pride and power. Bo. He does the pose, and I'm just like, God, this is stupid. I love
Or
it.
they even make a joke about the translation. Why is it called this, but it's not translated that way in Japanese? Because we couldn't figure out the right translation. Just
Yeah, because we didn't have the right words.
and it's jokes like that's when I think of gag character, that's what I think is like over the top, stupid, funny. But and also it's the
and
context of the show. The show is not meant to be this super serious anime manga. It's supposed to be. It's the just had a fucking epiphany. Bo is the scary movie of manga.
yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Holy shit, I just had that realization while I was saying that.
Yeah, well, welcome to the club. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it has giant mech battles, sad
Uh-huh.
backstories,
Uh-huh.
super over the top fucking fight power names.
Uh-huh. Keep
Uh,
going. Everything you're gonna name, it has creation myths, it has magic, it has everything, and it's literally a play on all the fucking anime that took itself super seriously at the time.
and I think that's why I like it, because I'm a fan of satire, as a lot of you know. If you know me, you know I'm a fan of satire and things that make fun of stuff that takes itself too seriously. And I just hit me. That's why I like Bobobo so much. And I fucking fight,
Yeah,
and I fight that this has a special place for a reason. That's why I fight for it so hard. Okay. Plus the theme song to it too just fucking slaps.
I think it's on par with JoJo. I think it's like JoJo and Bobo have like similar theme songs for something so outrageously stupid that is so outrageously awesome. But I mean, like going back to characters like Saitama, I think you finally do get the gag. Like I think you do finally understand why I love the the absurdity of what Saitama is, especially in context of this world of heroes where, you know, everybody's so super powerful and super serious, and they have all these superpowers, and everything is so fucking laid out. Then you got a moron who just is bounced off of buildings, hit with nuclear blasts, is attacked by a billion mosquitoes, is blown up by robots. It's, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what you do to him, the guy bounces back and has something stupid to say because he doesn't take it seriously. And that's kind of what the plot armor of him is that he doesn't take it seriously.
And
Nothing affects this guy.
yep, and I now get the gag. I think I was looking at that way more seriously. Like, I sat here and said, I understand the gag, but I guess I was taking it a little more serious than what I did, than what I was supposed to. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I kind of did. But I think it was all because of where I was at in the story, and it was just pissing me off. And I think that just left a sour taste in my mouth because I was doing it weekly. And I'm just like, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, no, and I implore you to go back and rewatch the first two seasons with this new mindset. You're gonna laugh your balls off.
Oh,
You really are.
I laughed at it when I watched it. It's not the fact that I didn't find it funny. Like I said, the manga ruined it for me. That's what it burns down to. The manga ruined it.
Yeah, and I understand that, but that's why I like watching the anime of this one. That's why I haven't gone to the manga just yet, but that's why I love watching this one, is because it's honestly just so much more visually appealing. Same thing with My Hero, same thing with Demon Slayer. Like the manga, the manga, yeah, okay, gives me the story, but visually speaking, they don't hold the candle to the animes.
No. Oh, especially Demon Slayer. Oh, especially Demon Slayer. Oh, the breathing techniques. Oh, the drawing of those. They get my
Yeah.
wiener hard. But, ladies and
And,
gentlemen, that has been Weeb Shit One Day. Weeb Shit Monday. That's what this fucking
Weeb
show's
Shit
called.
One Day?
Shut up. Shut up.
Ooh, woo.
I'll give you a fucking ooh woo if I ever gave one. Deadman, thank you as always for joining me, Bub. It's always a pleasure having you on.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, if people liked hearing that soft silk voice you have, where else could they find you?
Hit us up at VTNetwork #2 on all the socials, including YouTube, and we're on Twitch at VTNetwork, and we're on Facebook streaming under the Magic Squirrel Network. And we broadcast every Sunday, and we publish all our stuff on every podcasting platform that comes out every Monday. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/VT Network, where you can find more stuff from Gibby here. And also, when you join up, you get cool stickers and stuff like that.
Oh, shit. I don't have my stickers, like, in my vicinity, or else I'd show some that I got.
Did you get your latest batch?
Not yet. Not yet. But I was,
Okay.
I was a little late to get mail today, so I wasn't able to exactly check it. So, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I am your friendly neighborhood degenerate, the Podcast Daddy. If you want to follow any of my social media, it will be in the chat right there, linktree.com/podcastdaddy, or it will be in the show notes of the audio-only feed. If you want to watch the video version of this, go to youtube.com/podcastdaddy. If you just want to hear the audio, all podcasting platforms, just look up Podcast Daddy Variety Show, and it will be there. If you want to see my slow decline into madness throughout the day, go to twitter.com/enoughsnuff. If you want to see my beautiful, beautiful face, go to instagram.com/podcastdaddy. And I think that's all I got for ladies and gentlemen. So, as always, have a wonderful night. Have a beautiful day. And as always, because I know you're weebs and you listen to this, for the love of God, keep your balls clean.